Hey there, guys. Nate here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog. Brawny Man here with the Volunteer Tech Vlog. This shirt, I'll tell you what, it is warm. It was like 26 degrees out. I love this nice warm shirt. Oh, it's so great. I do like New England. I do like the seasons. I like when it gets a little chillier. You got to put on warmer clothes. I'm just weird like that. But you know what's amazing is how when this phone is in camera mode, you can see everything so well, and then I put it in video, and it's pretty dark. It is pretty dark here. But if I were to take a picture, it has really good. The S5, the Samsung Galaxy S5 has really good low light still photo capabilities. But as soon as I push video record, the whole thing gets really dark. So you can tell the days are getting shorter here. But you know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna start driving because it's gonna get lighter and lighter as I go down the road. And there's just something freeing about hitting the record button and driving and just going off the cuff. I think I'm really starting to appreciate that, especially because what I want to talk about in this video is a collaboration that I did with Dolphin. I want to share that video, so I'll put just so you guys know what I'm talking about, I'll put a little card up here. I don't know, is it a mirror image? But in one of the corners up here, there's going to be a little exclamation mark that'll pop up, and it'll say something about Dolphin and the Practical Worship blog, and that'll be a link that if you're watching on a mobile device, you can tap that little exclamation mark, and a little sidebar will pop out, and you'll be able to see Dave's face there and his branding. You can click right through to his video there, or it might just be the thumbnail of that video. Anyway, collaborating with Dave, he's publishing it this week, I believe. So if you're watching this, it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And Dave was scheduling this post to go live on Tuesday, so it should have just gone live. So I'm going to be sharing it, and he asked me a really good question. He asked me, how do you handle the "it's too loud" complaints? What are some things you can do? How should you respond to that? And he's coming from the perspective of a worship leader. So somebody who is kind of leading the band. How do you deal with the "it's too loud" complaints? So yeah, definitely go check out that video. I won't steal the lead there. I won't scoop that video. I'll let you go over there and check it out. But it's fun to collaborate with other people. And so we had been going back and forth a little while. I'm talking about ways we could collaborate, and that was one of the things that he thought would be good, is for me to weigh in on how to handle too loud complaints. So I gave him 5 reasons, or not 5 reasons, but five ways you could respond to "it's too loud" complaints. But you know what? One of the things that I found was just how difficult it was to try to keep a video less than 5 minutes. It was very difficult because I'm just so used to, when I get in the car, I got my routine down, I hit record, I start driving, and I just talk. And I'm not really watching the clock or anything. So I actually was thinking it would be good for me to kind of have little landmarks along my route, because I take pretty much the same route. And I know, okay, when I pass the post office, which I'm passing right now, past the post office, that's 4 minutes. And probably when I get to the Starbucks up here, that'll be 5 minutes. So if I ever want to really make sure I stick to a time budget, I got to make little landmarks around town here. So that would be funny. But so I went way overboard on my. Sorry, Dave. I went over. He wanted it to be like a 5-minute video, and man, I took like 8 or 9 takes of that after all was said and done, trying to get all the information packed in there, speaking naturally, not scripting it, just kind of going off the cuff. I think I got it down to 7 minutes, 8 minutes, but he went with it anyway. But yeah, so anyway, go check out Dave's channel. He's got the Practical Worship blog. He's really trying to trying to ramp up his content creation this year with YouTube videos. He's got some new YouTube videos coming out, which is really cool. But yeah, let me know what you think about Dave Dolphin, and go ahead and head over there and subscribe. He's got some good stuff to be more productive and things like that. See, look, now the light's better. I told you the lighting would get a little bit better as I drove. Now you can see the Brawny Man in full light of day. I should be advertising paper towels right now. Even getting the beard going. Love this. I should have been the Brawny Man for Halloween. Went trick-or-treating last night. It was fun. Oh boy. So what am I going to talk about now? Because when I started to record, I was like, oh, I'll talk about the Dave Dolphin collab. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to steal his thunder and share the 5 points in this video. So I want you guys to go over there and watch it there. So now I'm kind of like, what to talk about? What to talk about on this Wednesday video? Well, I do make videos every Wednesday and Friday, so you gotta try to come up with something intelligent to say. Let me think through this a little bit. So last video I think I talked about OnShape, which was last Friday, and this cloud-based CAD software, computer-aided design. So I do really want to try that out at some point and see how it works for signal flow, especially if it's got like a freemium pricing model. I mean, that might be really good for volunteer techs. Oh man, I'm getting a phone call. Who is this? Well, that's never good to get a phone call from a project manager at 7:20 in the morning. So, wow, yeah, that was rough. Yeah, so I do systems design, AV system design for a medical solutions company, and our poor project manager is out in Iowa, I think, and I guess he got notified at like 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening that there was a mandatory construction meeting for all the contractors working on that hospital, and they had to either attend the like 10 p.m. meeting that day, or a 3:30 a.m. meeting the next morning. And so he had to drive into the hospital at like 3:30 in the morning. Oh man, I'm telling you what, when you sign up to be a project manager, that's not what you're thinking about, is it? You're not thinking about these mandatory construction meetings at 3:30 in the morning. Holy cow. So anyway, he's got some stuff. When I get into the office, I'm gonna give him a call back and try to get some more info for him out there. But anyway, that was the phone call that interrupted our discussion here. And let's see, I think I was talking about OnShape, that CAD software. So they've got this pricing model, which is very popular these days, called freemium, like FREE-mium, I guess. However you spell mium. Freemium, almost like premium. So you start off with a free account. You create an account for free, and it's brilliant because you get people love free stuff. So you get those people coming in, and you get all their information, and then if you want, premium features, you want enhanced features, if you want all those special functions, then you got to pay a little bit extra. So I do want to try out OnShape just to see how it would work, especially for like a volunteer team of people, because that's been the big problem with like AutoCAD, is that it's just so expensive. It's great. I mean, if you ask me, AutoCAD is the best tool to do signal flow, but it's difficult to use, difficult to learn, and it's expensive. So you got to weigh the pros and cons, hence why I've been using Google Docs and just creating Excel spreadsheets, just so we can try to have something that is shareable, and you can share it to somebody else. They can copy it easily into a new sheet and then make alterations all in the cloud, and it's just easy. But OnShape is essentially going to bring that functionality to CAD software. So that'll be an interesting one. So I do have to try that out. But yeah, it's amazing. You leave like super early in the morning and there's still traffic. That's the other thing that's big news in Massachusetts is they're ripping down the toll booths this week. So they're starting that big project, switching everything over to electronic toll system. So even if you don't have one of those little transponders that you stick to the windshield, they've got a system now where they'll take a picture of your license plate and then send you a bill in the mail. So, but I guess if you've got like in Massachusetts Easy Pass, the tolls are a little bit cheaper. If you've got like a general Easy Pass from another state, you can still pay your toll that way, but it's a little bit more. And then apparently if you don't have any of those Easy Pass transponders, they take a picture, they bill you in the mail, and then it costs even more. So I don't know, there's something weird like that going on. But I don't normally take the toll roads, but I take roads that lead up to the toll roads, and they always back up around the toll roads. So I was hoping that with the electronic system starting, traffic flow would be a little better, but it doesn't look like that. At least not right now with the construction going on. Maybe 6 months from now it'll be better. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, and I guess I got to mention a little teddy bear. So my daughter Joni likes to give me little friends to take for the ride to keep me company. She's a very, very sweet little girl, and she's always sharing her toys with me. And as I go to leave for work, she says, "Here, take the teddy bear to keep you company." So that's why I got a teddy bear in my car, in case you're curious. Oh, but yeah, this video is kind of all over the place. It really is. It really is. What is the valuable piece of information that I'm going to share with you today? You know, it's really to go check out Dave Dolphin's channel. That's really the most valuable piece of information. And yeah, go check out Dave. One of the things I really liked is he had a really good idea for Mother's Day. So you know, he's creating content like that. Like if you're trying to plan, like, oh, what's something we can do special for Mother's Day? He's got an idea. He's got some ideas up there for that. But I know, I guess I should tell you like where I first heard about Dave. So he's been a frequent commenter on the Volunteer Tech Vlog, on the Live Sound 101 YouTube channel. He's left some comments, one of the regulars. And but I first connected with him and found out about him through a podcast. I am a huge podcast fanatic. I love listening to podcasts. If I wasn't creating this video right now, I'd be listening to probably Geek News Central. I've been listening to a lot of Geek News Central lately. I really like Todd Cochran's approach to podcasting, and he shares really interesting tech-related news or geek news, and he does a great job with it. So I've been listening to a lot of him lately. But how I met Dave Dolphin, or not, I actually never met Dave in person. We've talked on the phone and exchanged emails and stuff like that. But how I was kind of introduced to Dave was through a podcast called Church Tech Weekly. It's one that I've mentioned here in this vlog a number of times. I think Mike Sessler, Van Metchke, they do a great job with the Church Tech Weekly podcast, although it has not been weekly this year because they have been very busy, and I get that. Boy, do I get that. I understand how things can get busy. But whether or not it's weekly or not, I mean, really isn't the most important thing. But the content that they create is really, really good. And Mike has been doing this for a long time and good friends with Van. So they make a good duo there. And they have some interesting guests on. And so Dave Dolphin was actually a guest on Church Tech Weekly. And so I found out about Dave and then looked his blog up and started subscribing to him and his web properties. I think that's also how I found out about Dave Stagel and Going to 11. A lot of Daves over there in that podcast. There's some other guys. There's a handful. There's Andrew Stone is another guy. I think they have a lot of the guys down from Church on the Move, and so yeah, Church Tech Weekly, good group of guys there. That all goes to show you why I like podcasts is because I don't passively listen to podcasts. Like I passively listen to podcasts, but I make note of the people who are on the podcast, and I'll reach out to them. I'll follow them on Twitter. You know, if they're doing some sort of Twitter plug or something like that, I pretty much always look the person up. If I like the podcast, if I like what the person's saying, I feel like they're being authentic or they're sharing good information, I will almost always try to connect with them on Twitter or in some way. And a lot of times, I'd say I don't listen passively. I won't just connect with them on Twitter, but I'll follow them on Twitter, and I'll put a link. I'll tweet out a link to the show I just listened to and say, hey, I just heard you on such and such episode. Great stuff. Really, really liked what you had to say. It was helpful. Or, I'll share with them, some bit of encouragement I got from what they said, or some piece of valuable information, why I found it valuable, and I'll tweet it out. And more times than not, they'll follow me back, and we'll have a connection point there. And then, like a few months later, something comes up, and they remember that. And so anyway, that's what I like to do. That's how I like to consume podcasts. Not so much just kind of like a lurker in the background. I mean, that's it. And the reason why I share this is because I feel like the tendency to listen to consuming things is like we're kind of conditioned, with TV, with radio. If you grew up with this one-way communication, you're kind of conditioned to just consume these interactive platforms passively, just almost as if it was a one-way street. But it's not one way anymore. I mean, you consume the media, and you should engage. You should respond. You should interact. It's more than just simply consuming and then turning it off. It's like you can reach through the computer screen or the tablet or the podcast and kind of connect with the person on the other side. I think there's a lot of power in that. I think that's a very cool thing. So I've connected with a bunch of people that way, especially in the audio video world. So Twitter is that's kind of really how I like to network. LinkedIn, Twitter, Google Plus, things like that. Facebook isn't so much like a networking tool. I like to keep Facebook like people that I see in person or know like personally, and family. I like to keep Facebook a little bit more private, but with my other Twitter accounts, I really like to be more public with it and just, reach out. LinkedIn's a little, I try to just connect with people on LinkedIn that I know in person, because I don't want to just have some massive LinkedIn network full of people I don't really know. That doesn't really make sense. So the value of LinkedIn is that you actually have had an interaction with somebody in the business world, or some sort of working relationship. So anyway, that's my take on social media and podcasting and connecting. But there's a lot of people that just kind of treat Facebook, the same way that they treat any other social media. It's just another connection point. For me, maybe it was because I'm about the same age as Mark Zuckerberg, and I was one of the first people that in the first generation of people that actually use Facebook, when you actually had to have a .edu email address to register for a Facebook account, and it was like this kind of closed thing where at first you could only connect with people from your own school, and then they like opened up the floodgates. You could connect with people from other schools, and they kept adding schools strategically. So it was just interesting how Facebook developed like that. Maybe that's partially why I don't want to just connect with anyone under the sun out there. But man, I don't even know, like, what am I going to title this video? Like, I've just been talking about so many different things. I mean, just got interrupted with a phone call from a project manager at 7:20 in the morning. Like, holy cow. Well, I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for this edition of the Volunteer Tech Vlog. The teddy bear says bye-bye. Hey, see you guys in the next video.